A big house will die in 2 days if you don't live in it properly. It's actually all about energy.
When you invite into someone's house, you're actually being invited to look into their soul.
My favorite book in design is a very strange and unusual and very small and very quirky book called Pattern Language, and it's by somebody called Christopher Alexander and about 7 architects, and it's studies that were done in architecture about what make people comfortable and it's all based on incredible research on theses, and it is one of the most amazing books, and I've told Véronique to read it years ago.
It's my Bible.
And it's also her Bible, and it totally informs every way I think about gardens, decorating and designing houses, and it's about patterns in houses that actually make a house work. And I think one of the most interesting patterns, and this house shows it enormously, is light on 2 sides. You know those terrace houses in London?
There's no light on 2 sides.
So it hurts your eyes, and it's all about what makes your eyes feel comfortable. So there's light coming in here, light coming in here, so you always feel comfortable.
The light is balanced on your face.
Yeah.
So if you have light on one side, your shadow, your face is in shadow on one side, and you can't read someone's expression.
And it hurts your eyes. And this house exemplifies it. It's all about the human hand. So can you talk about the human hand in this house?
So I've added a lot of texture here. I've put a lot of latte on the ceilings, wooden beams that have been hand-hewed, pavers, wooden floors. It's all got rough texture in it. The tables are rough. It's not machine made. There's a builder involved. There's an artisan involved. Someone's laying it hand by hand, and somehow you can feel it when something's been done by hand. It gives the home a heart and a soul.
And that's why they're saying computer-generated designed houses are just so soulless. And this is why there's a whole generation of architects who don't draw. And so all the houses that are emerging are just computer-generated. They lose their soul. They're built in this totally, too much glass, too much absolutely flat plastering of the walls. So when you see the human hand in the paint stroke, in the way the plaster is done, this hand weaving, all the weaving in the house, I said they're the rattan that's made
by hand
in Philippines, woven in all of these things create their own soul and emotional resonance. And I think one of the reasons that art is so important, and I don't think it's ever talked about, is the emotional resonance of the person whose intention and human hand and soul and brain went into that painting that comes out into the room. And I think that's why houses with art in it, and especially chosen with a particular kind of thing, but that's why textiles are so important. And I think this house is an absolute essay in pattern language. And also it says things like different kinds of chairs and different heights ceilings.
And it's that irregularity that you pick up in hand woven, hand tiled, hand plaster that it gives heart to a home. It gives something that is, it gives you you feel like you're surrounded by humankind.
People love wild gardens.
Yes.
They love terrace gardens. They like water. They like little nooks. And if you think about some of the houses you've had, some of the houses I've had, where you've got an area where there's a big seating out there where you can sit like in a nook with a little group of people. Or you think of Churchhaven and think of various houses. They've been like people like little nooks.
So you have a central area, and then off that central area you have little nooks that people can disappear to, and then gather in the middle again. And so the houses that I've designed, and I've seen this in your houses too, is that they're surrounded by arms almost. They are surrounded by nooks, the central area, and then these arms come around.
Well, that's why the courtyard house is so very special. But the most important thing about building a courtyard house, it has to have a view out. It cannot be claustrophobically enclosed. There's so many important patterns, and he also has taught, and light is one of the most crucial things in where the sun comes in. Like nobody will ever sit on a balcony that's too small. It has to be, there's a minimum measurement for a balcony to work. You walk into a house and you know where people live because there's emotional resonance. So this is a very big house, and it takes a very big personality and a very active life to live in a big house. So if you don't have that, do not build a big house. If you've got a big house, you have to live in it. You've got to light the candles, you've got to light the fires, and you've got to have a lot of guests.
Put the music on.
You have to be entertaining, and you have to be cooking in that kitchen. A big house will die in 2 days if you don't live in it properly, and nobody is interested. Rather make a small house alive and it's all about energy. If you've got huge energy, you can take on a big house.
There's nothing worse than unused empty spaces that are just trophy rooms. I mean, you've got to live in every room. And every room here is used for a different purpose at different times of the day.
So, I mean, this is my big thing. It's actually all about energy. And it's all about what you energetically choose. It's the house you decide to live in, and it's how much energy you have.
When you invite into someone's house, you're actually being invited to look into their soul. It's like an artist giving you, painting a painting, and then it lives in your house. They actually have given a part of themselves on display forever. So a house is someone's, I think, deepest expression, if that is their way they express themselves.